ABC Weather Lab. Here's Eric's forecast.
There is definitely a lot going on right now in the weather world across the Gulf Coast, and it starts with a tropical wave that has been making for a very gloomy Sunday across Acadiana, bringing us steady light rains throughout most of the day, beginning around 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, and have been continuing non-stop, bringing about a half to an inch of rain across most of the areas. Similar story for our Monday. Transition day on Tuesday before another system, that potential tropical cyclone out in the Bahama area, could be then heading our way, possibly bringing a little bit more rain. But we'll start with the rain that we have ongoing. Taking a look at the satellite and radar, you can see that upper level disturbance now just to the south of the Florida or the Texas-Louisiana border. That's creating all this moisture that has been streaming onshore throughout most of our Sunday, bringing us those the scattered showers throughout the day. We do see some heavier rains offshore, but you can still see plenty of that moisture to work onshore. So through the rest of this evening and into tomorrow, we're going to have more rain making its way in and across the Acadiana. So that is just going to continue to be with us, and we're not going to really dry out until about Tuesday. Closer look, you can see it is all fairly light, but there are some moderate showers, maybe moving from St. Landry up into Evangeline Parish, also over towards Lake Charles, towards maybe the Sulphur area. They're seeing more of that as we have the yellows and orange showing up back through Acadia down into Vermilion Parish, starting to see some of those down towards the Pecan Island. But for the most part, this is fairly light, and it's going to continue to be that way through the rest of this evening. Could even have some brief periods where it actually stops altogether, but the ground is just still so wet from all the rain we've received today. We're going to continue to see more of this, and so for that reason, a flash flood watch is in effect until 7 p.m. tomorrow for all of Acadiana, as we'll continue to have these rounds of showers and storms work their way in and across the area, continuing to produce about another inch to 2 inches. So that could exacerbate the fact of all the rain that we've been getting. But still, I'm not expecting anything to get too bad, mainly just minor flooding in those low-lying areas or some ponding on the roadways. This is, as I mentioned, all because of this tropical wave that we have moving into the western Gulf of Mexico, continuing to produce all the showers that we have with us today and again on Monday before it begins to move out into Texas, and finally to give us a little bit of a break before our next system, this potential tropical cyclone. Right now, it's still fairly unorganized. As you can see, there's no real definite center with the system just yet. Winds are at 30 miles per hour, moving off to the west-northwest at 15. So it is moving pretty quickly, but right now producing some decent showers through the Bahamas and across a good portion of Cuba. In the coming days and by Monday, it's going to head towards the Key West area. That's where it possibly could strengthen as it moves over some warmer waters in the Gulf Stream and eastern Gulf of Mexico, maybe getting up to around 40 miles per hour. If it does become a tropical storm, it will get the name Gordon. As it moves through the Key West, will produce heavy rains across South Florida throughout much of Labor Day. Then as it goes into the Gulf of Mexico, it will quickly then head towards the mouth of the Mississippi, towards the Grand Isle area by late Tuesday. As of right now, expect it to maybe become a moderate tropical storm with 60-mile-an-hour winds come Tuesday afternoon, but then weaken briefly as it makes landfall with about 50 to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So just a tropical storm as it makes landfall, at least according to the National Hurricane Center, then track up through central Louisiana come Wednesday afternoon, making its way further towards Shreveport and then up into Oklahoma, becoming a tropical depression. But this is going to be a very small system, so impacts are going to be very minor at that. But we do have tropical storm watches in effect from basically just to the south of Morgan City over to the east to the Alabama-Florida panhandle for the possibility for winds 50 to 60 miles per hour and maybe some coastal flooding of 2 to 4, maybe 5 foot along those areas as that system makes its way in. But let's take a look at what the models are kind of going with this system. This is the European model. So there's our wave beginning to track just to the south of Florida into the eastern Gulf of Mexico come Monday afternoon. Then by Tuesday afternoon makes its way getting closer just to the southeast of the Mississippi mouth. Then as we go into Tuesday evening, that's when it makes landfall. But take a look at this. The models keep it very weak. Maybe a tropical depression, tropical storm. Heaviest rains continue to be to the eastern side, so it looks like Mississippi Gulf, New Orleans area is going to have the worst of this, where they can see the heavier rains, coastal flooding, and some of the gustier winds. We're on the back side of this. You can see we'll be dry throughout most of the day on Tuesday. Then as it tracks up on Wednesday, continues to keep us on the western dry side as the heavier rains continue to be over from Baton Rouge up into South Mississippi, and then continuing the track up towards Alexandria and that Then by Thursday, as we get that wraparound, that's when we could see a little better chance for some showers and storms returning to our area. The RPM model, similar story, takes it towards New Orleans and then up into Mississippi, with the heaviest rains again staying to our east, with just maybe some wraparound showers for us here in Acadiana. So I think our impacts locally with this system are going to be very minimal at best, maybe just some scattered showers for our Wednesday and Thursday. But even in the short term, we're going to have the chance for more rains with that tropical wave out in the western Gulf of Mexico. So you can see throughout much of the day on Monday, hit or miss showers with us throughout the day, even in the morning. And then in the Tuesday, maybe getting a little bit of some dry periods, but still could have a couple pop-up showers and storms during the afternoon. As far as how much rainfall expected, in the short term, we could still pick up another 1 to 2 inches across a good portion of the area. Then as that system begins to move in, you can see the heavier amounts over towards Biloxi and New Orleans, with the heavier rains moving in that area. So light rains for the rest of our evening, steady temperatures in the mid 70s, 80% chance for the rain this evening, 70% chance for more scattered showers and storms, heaviest rains possible in the morning, then light rains through the afternoon, with this system continuing the track over top the area. Through the 7 days shows the little bit of a break on Tuesday before more rain moves in Wednesday, Thursday, and in the Friday. But again, it's just more scattered activity with the heavier rains over towards New Orleans with the tropical system, then maybe seeing just more lower rain chances by next weekend.